Sunil Abraham, first of all, your take on this general direction. Look, today there will be a certain amount of skepticism. Why will there be skepticism? People are going to say that, look, internet penetration in India, what, 27%, if I remember the number correctly, and that's largely on the back of a much higher percentage in urban areas, 50-60%. It's much lower in rural areas. Are we anywhere close to saying that enough will be happening digitally to actually make a dent on all of these issues that we are talking about?
Unfortunately not. The trouble with the design of the Aadhaar project, which was started under the previous regime and continues under the current regime, is that all it does is make citizens transparent to the state, but it does not make the state transparent to citizens. So what we are seeing is, with every generation of corruption busting technology, we are having a new generation of corruption being introduced into society. Let's first answer the question, why is it that huge numbers of new notes are being confiscated during the raids, but these notes are not to be found in the ATM machines? This is because a black market in Aadhaar numbers has been created in many cities. Unfortunately, because of our obsession with KYC, we insist that people give photocopies of their Aadhaar cards whenever they procure mobile phones or go to schools for admission. These photocopies are being procured whole scale by criminals, and then those photocopies are being used by bank officials to launder black money in cash without letting the money reach the bank accounts. We should have made sure that the bank officials had the Aadhaar numbers first, and that they were being tracked through enhanced surveillance before subjecting the poor to surveillance.
I think you make a really important point. Just pause the thought on that. I'm going to throw it to everybody else. I mean, I really love the phrase that he just used, that sometimes it makes citizens transparent to the government and not government transparent to the citizens. And everything that we've been talking about right now.
Today the Prime Minister and the BJP are supporting the idea that any election payment to a party above 2,000 rupees should be documented with a PAN card. I request the Congress also to support it.
Can I ask something a simple question for all of you to consider? When the Prime Minister had to appoint a principal secretary to his office, he brought in an ordinance. He did.
What is the relevance of this?
Why did he not bring an ordinance to say that not just 2,000 rupees, everything would be done transparently?
Would the Congress party support?
We will support the Prime Minister. Let him bring it up. We'll support the Congress party.
Why? Just say I support it.
Glad to hear
Why
that.
doesn't he do it?
Why don't you bring an ordinance before the Congress party support?
I think Salman should be told this is the prerogative of the Election Commission.
No, it is not.
We cannot do that.
No, this is wrong.
Theoretically, handling India's currency is the prerogative of the Reserve Bank.
But it's the Prime Minister is doing it.
So the help of gentlemen like him,
now you're talking.
The whole system.
Now you're talking. Now we're going to come to all of you on this, because that, more than an Inspector Raj, you could actually take it one step forward.
Most Indians
for example,
will be corrupt,
given
the chance.
Why is it that any government official, including anybody with coercive powers like the Income Tax Department or somebody else, if they are going after somebody who is innocent, who's wrong, there should be an accountability for that. There should be a punishment. There should be a black mark. There should be some way of making sure that they are empowered to go and investigate and survey.
Environment. Everybody has a power to coerce you.
Yes.
You know, with jail power, sales tax and put you to jail.
So why is it that no one's ever punished for harassing an innocent person?
Search fee. I mean, really, it's a 70-year problem, yeah.
55% of all Indians have paid bribes at some time or the other. That's their own record. And who collects these bribes? The same inspectors, these rent collectors, these registrars, they all collect bribes. The police.
So while they have powers, corruption is not going away.
Absolutely.
And if you increase their powers by giving them more powers under an Inspector Raj, corruption doesn't go down, it goes up.
You see, collection of taxes is always by conditioning and coercion. Even in the United States, they use coercion. If you don't pay, they send you to jail. Al Capone went to jail not for murders, but for tax evasion. We don't send anybody to jail for tax evasion. You got people.
More coercion.
I want more coercion of that kind, and I want more income tax officers to go to jail, and I want more IAS officers to go to jail. That doesn't happen.
If they are harassing somebody wrongly, or if they are colluding and taking money.
Vikram, they are considered source of 30% of the so-called black money, which is coming into the system. Bureaucracy. You got to tame your bureaucracy. It's out of control.
Okay.
And it's got a bureaucracy which only tells you what to do and does nothing for you.
So, economy, fine. Based on what we are seeing right now, the possible benefits that are coming directly on an attack on black money, has it been justified? Or are you also disappointed, as many people are, by the staggering different number of ways and scale to which people have been able to launder their black money?
First of all, Vikram, this is not demonetization. What you have is a simple currency exchange. You junking in old 500 rupee and 1000 rupee notes and then getting new notes. Demonetization is when you change the currency, you change the value of the currency. The rupee is still the basic.
Can I dispute that if you mind for a minute? I'll tell you why I'm disputing what you're saying. It is demonetization for one reason.
Okay.
You have taken 15.4 lakh crores out of the system, and because for some bizarre reason which nobody till today has been able to explain to me, the government didn't print notes in advance.
Precisely.
1.5 months later, they've only been able to re-inject 6 lakh
Precisely.
crores
That's
into
an
the
act of
system.
stupidity.
15.5 lakhs gone, 6 lakhs back in.
Most of it
That's an act of stupidity, Vikram, not demonetization. Demonetization, currency exchanges have taken place before.
Correct.
In 2008, we had currency exchange. New 500 rupee notes came, the old ones went out. We've had.
Okay, in all of this, in that sort of a surge, if it does happen, the biggest risk I think in getting that adoption is if suddenly security becomes a big issue. If people start to panic about giving their numbers and giving their this, oh, you know, somebody gets hacked and there's some scandal somewhere and, you know, whatever happens, it'll set it back. Are you reasonably confident that in doing surges like that, security will be taken care of?
You're asking me if security will be an issue, Vikram. I'm telling you security will be an issue. Yeah. You can't go from a 20% to a 50% without frauds, without problems happening. It's just about minimizing that as much as you can, both technically and through policies and by getting the right people. Currently, of course, there is a massive deficiency when you talk about both in the government having the right kind of human resources who understand security in the right way. But again, there's a push for that we see over the last couple of months that's happening.
So